In a small lab on Earth, a team of scientists was hard at work. They were studying dark matter, a mysterious substance that made up most of the universe but was invisible to the naked eye. The leader of the team, Dr. Emily Carter, was known for her sharp mind and determination. She had always believed that dark matter held great potential, and today she was about to prove it. As Emily and her team analyzed their data, they made a shocking discovery. They found a way to harness dark matter as a source of energy. This energy was unlike anything they had ever seen, powerful, efficient, and clean. The room filled with excitement as the team realized what this could mean for the world. They could create limitless energy, solve the energy crisis, and reduce pollution. But Emily had an even bigger idea in mind. If they could use dark matter for energy, maybe they could also use it as a weapon. The news of their discovery quickly spread. Government officials were called to the lab to witness the breakthrough. Emily explained the potential applications of dark matter, emphasizing its dual nature. "This isn't just about energy," she said, her eyes shining with passion. "We have the chance to protect our planet from threats. With dark matter, we could create weapons that would make us powerful beyond imagination." Some officials were excited while others were cautious. They debated the ethics of using dark matter as a weapon. "We must use this power responsibly," one official warned. "We don't want to become the very monsters we are trying to fight." But the thrill of power was intoxicating, and the prospect of being able to defend Earth against any enemy was hard to resist. Meanwhile, far away in space, the Galactic Empire, a powerful alien force, was watching closely. Their scouts had detected strange energy readings coming from Earth. The Empire had always seen humans as a lesser species, but they knew that advancements in technology could change the balance of power. The Empire's leaders held a secret meeting, discussing the potential threat that Earth posed. "We cannot let them weaponize dark matter," one commander said, his voice firm. "If they succeed, they could challenge our supremacy in the galaxy." The Empire's leaders decided to send spies to Earth to gather more information and prepare for possible action. Back on Earth, Emily and her team were ready to begin their first test of a dark matter weapon. They chose an uninhabited moon as their target, far from any life. The test site was a massive facility, equipped with the latest technology. As the team prepared for the experiment, tension filled the air. Emily knew that if they succeeded, it would change everything. "Are we ready?" she asked, looking at her team. They nodded, determination in their eyes. Emily pressed a button, and the machine hummed to life. Dark matter flowed into the weapon, and a brilliant light filled the room. The countdown began. 3, 2, 1. With a massive blast, the dark matter weapon fired. A powerful beam shot into space, striking the moon with incredible force. The impact was breathtaking. The moon exploded in a dazzling display of light and energy. Emily and her team watched in awe, their hearts racing. They had done it. They had weaponized dark matter. But with this victory came a sense of unease. Emily felt a chill run down her spine. What would the Empire think? They had awakened a sleeping giant, and she knew they would not take this lightly. As the team celebrated their success, Emily's mind raced with thoughts of the future. They had a powerful weapon, but would it bring peace or war? Little did they know the Galactic Empire was already making plans to stop them. They were determined to crush this new threat before it could grow any stronger. Emily's discovery had changed the game, and the fight for survival had just begun. After their incredible discovery, Dr. Emily Carter and her team felt a mix of excitement and anxiety. They had successfully weaponized dark matter, but now they needed to test their creation. Emily knew that this test would show the world what humans could do, and it could also bring danger from the Galactic Empire. The team gathered in the command center, surrounded by monitors and equipment, ready to prepare for their first real test. "Today is a big day," Emily said, addressing her team. "We need to make sure everything is perfect. Our safety and success depend on it." The room buzzed with energy as the scientists double-checked every detail of the dark matter weapon. Emily's lead engineer, Mark, stood by the control panel, sweating slightly. "I've run the simulations countless times, but seeing it in action will be something else," he said. The test site was located on a barren moon far from Earth. It was the perfect place to avoid harming any life. Emily had chosen this moon because it had no inhabitants, just vast plains and rocky landscapes. A small crew would travel there with the weapon to monitor the test closely. They loaded the dark matter weapon onto a small spacecraft, and soon the team was on its way. As they flew through space, Emily couldn't help but think about the risks involved. Would the weapon work as planned? What if something went wrong? She felt the weight of responsibility on her shoulders, knowing that the fate of humanity rested on their success. The team tried to stay positive, sharing jokes and encouraging each other. They all wanted to believe they were about to achieve something great. After a short journey, they arrived at the test site. The barren moon lay below them, silent and still. The team set up the equipment quickly, feeling the excitement in the air. Mark monitored the readings on the control panel, his eyes widening as he saw the dark matter readings spike. "Everything looks good, Emily. We're ready for the test," he announced. Emily took a deep breath, her heart racing. "Let's do this." She activated the weapon and the machinery came to life, humming with energy. The dark matter flowed into the core of the weapon, and a bright blue glow filled the area. The team was in awe, watching as the weapon charged. 15 seconds to launch," Mark called out. The team members exchanged nervous glances, each one aware of the stakes involved. Emily felt a surge of determination. They were about to show the universe that humans could stand up to any threat. 10 seconds! Mark shouted, and the excitement grew. Emily focused on the target, a large rock formation on the moon's surface. She wanted to demonstrate the weapon's power without causing too much destruction. The countdown continued. 3, 2, 1, launch! Emily pressed the button, and the dark matter weapon fired. A brilliant beam shot out, striking the target with incredible force. The impact created a massive explosion, sending shock waves across the moon. Dust and debris flew everywhere, and the team watched in awe. As the smoke cleared, they saw the devastation. The rock formation was gone, obliterated by the dark matter. The team erupted in cheers, celebrating their success. "We did it!" Mark shouted, high-fiving his colleagues. Emily felt a rush of pride, but a nagging worry lingered in her mind. They had created something powerful, but it could also be dangerous. Suddenly, the control panel beeped with warnings. Mark's face turned pale as he checked the readings. "Emily, we're getting strange energy signals. Something is happening!" Panic swept through the room. Emily knew that the Galactic Empire must have detected the test. They were not safe anymore. "Prepare for immediate return to Earth," she ordered. "We need to alert the others." The team quickly packed up the equipment, their earlier excitement replaced by fear. They had unleashed dark matter, and now the Empire would come for them. As they blasted off from the moon, Emily's heart raced. This was just the beginning. The fight for survival had started, and the Empire would not be far behind. As the small spacecraft soared back toward Earth, Dr. Emily Carter and her team felt the weight of what they had done. They had proven the power of dark matter as a weapon, but now they were anxious. They had unleashed something that could attract the attention of the Galactic Empire, and they knew that danger was coming. Back on Earth, the news of their successful test spread like wildfire. Reports filled the airwaves about the humans' newfound ability to harness dark matter. Many people were excited, celebrating their scientists as heroes. But in the halls of power, leaders were growing worried. The Galactic Empire would not take this lightly. Meanwhile, in the depths of space, the Galactic Empire's command ship loomed large. The Empire's leaders gathered in a dimly lit room, their faces stern. Commander Zarek, a towering alien with sharp features, slammed his fist on the table. "We cannot allow Earth to think they can challenge us. They have shown they can weaponize dark matter. We must act before they grow too powerful." His advisors nodded, murmuring their agreement. They quickly devised a plan to send a fleet of ships to Earth. Their mission was clear, to neutralize the dark matter threat before it could escalate further. As the Empire's ships prepared for launch, the tension in the room grew thicker. They were ready for a fight. Back on Earth, Emily and her team returned to their lab, greeted by applause and cheers. But Emily felt uneasy. "We need to prepare for a possible attack," she told her team. "The Empire won't sit back and watch us become a threat." The scientists gathered around, sharing worried glances. Mark, Emily's lead engineer, looked serious. "We should strengthen our defenses. If the Empire comes, we need to be ready." Emily nodded in agreement. They began brainstorming ways to use their dark matter technology to protect Earth. They had to act quickly. As they worked, a message came through from the military. A general informed them that there were strange ships detected in the outer atmosphere. The Empire was indeed on their way. Emily felt her heart race. They had little time left. "We need to move fast!" Emily exclaimed. "Let's set up a defense system and prepare the dark matter weapon for use." The team rushed to their stations, working together to strengthen their defenses. Emily had never felt such urgency. They were not just scientists anymore. They were now the first line of defense against a powerful enemy. Meanwhile, the Galactic Empire's ships approached Earth. The fleet was massive, dark, and intimidating. Commander Zarek watched from his command chair as they entered the atmosphere. "Prepare for battle! We will show these humans they cannot challenge the Empire." His voice was filled with rage, and the crew scrambled to follow his orders. As the first wave of Empire ships descended, Emily's team finished their preparations. The dark matter weapon was ready, aimed at the incoming threat. "Everyone, take your positions," Emily shouted, her voice steady. The room was tense, filled with nervous energy. They were about to face an enemy that had ruled the galaxy for centuries. Suddenly, the first Empire ship fired a barrage of energy blasts toward the lab. Emily and her team ducked for cover as the walls shook. "Return fire!" she commanded. The dark matter weapon activated, firing a beam at the incoming enemy. The impact was devastating, tearing through the enemy ship and causing it to explode. Cheers erupted in the lab, but Emily knew this was just the beginning. More ships were coming, and they needed to act fast. "We can't let them regroup. Keep firing!" The team worked together, coordinating their shots and trying to hold off the Empire's advance. The battle raged on, each side trading blows. Emily felt a mix of fear and determination. They were standing their ground, but the Empire had numbers on their side. "We can't give up," she shouted, rallying her team. "We are fighting for our home." As the fight continued, Emily noticed a large ship moving in the background. It was the flagship of the Empire, and Zarek was on board, directing the attack. She knew they had to take it down to turn the tide of the battle. With newfound resolve, Emily focused the dark matter weapon on the flagship. "This is it!" she called out. The team prepared for one last powerful shot. With a deep breath, Emily pressed the button. The beam shot out, striking the flagship directly. It erupted into flames, a brilliant explosion lighting up the sky. The tide was turning. As the Empire ships began to retreat, Emily and her team cheered. They had survived the first conflict, but they knew the Empire would not give up easily. They had to remain vigilant and prepare for what was coming next. The battle for Earth had just begun. After the intense battle with the Galactic Empire, Dr. Emily Carter and her team were left shaken but relieved. They had defended Earth against an overwhelming force, proving that humanity could stand up to a powerful enemy. However, the victory felt bittersweet. They knew the Empire would not simply back down, they would regroup and come back with a stronger attack. As the news of the battle spread, people all over the world watched in awe and fear. Emily and her team became heroes overnight. News channels featured their images and interviews, celebrating their bravery and ingenuity. But amid the cheers and excitement, Emily remained focused on the challenges ahead. They needed a plan, and they needed it fast. The government called an emergency meeting with the top military officials and scientists, including Emily and her team. The room was filled with tension as everyone took their seats. The president of the United Earth Federation stood at the front, looking serious. "We have faced a direct threat from the Galactic Empire," the president began. "Their technology is advanced, and we cannot underestimate their power. We must respond decisively." Emily listened carefully, her mind racing. The government officials debated various strategies, some suggesting a more aggressive stance, while others pushed for diplomacy. "We should send a message to the Empire," one general argued. "Show them we won't back down. We have the dark matter weapon, and we should use it." Emily raised her hand, wanting to speak. "We need to be careful," she said, her voice steady. "Attacking the Empire without a plan could lead to disaster. They may retaliate with even greater force. We should focus on building our defenses and finding allies." The room fell silent. The officials exchanged glances, considering her words. The president nodded. "Dr. Carter makes a valid point. We need to protect Earth, but also be strategic about our actions." With Emily's suggestion in mind, they began discussing how to strengthen their defenses. They talked about developing more dark matter weapons and enhancing their military capabilities. They also decided to reach out to other planets and races that might be willing to help. The Galactic Empire had made many enemies, and now was the time to unite. As the meeting concluded, Emily felt a sense of hope. They were not alone in this fight. They had the chance to form alliances and show the universe that humanity was strong. but they had to act quickly. In the days that followed, Emily and her team worked tirelessly. They expanded their dark matter technology and trained military personnel on how to use it effectively. The lab was buzzing with activity, each team member motivated by the desire to protect their home. One evening, as Emily reviewed the latest data, she received an unexpected message. It was from an alien race known as the Zorathians, who lived on a planet not far from Earth. The Zorathians had been watching the battle closely and wanted to help. "We have our own grievances with the Galactic Empire," their leader, a tall and regal being named Zorak, wrote. "We can join forces and fight together." Emily felt a surge of excitement. This could be the alliance they needed. She quickly organized a meeting with Zorak. The Zorathians arrived in a sleek, shimmering ship that landed gracefully on the military base. Emily and her team welcomed Zorak and his advisors, eager to discuss their shared goals. During the meeting, Zorak spoke passionately about the Empire's oppression. "They have taken many from my people. We want to fight back," he declared. Emily felt a strong connection with him. Together, they shared knowledge about their technologies, combining the dark matter weapon with the Zorathians' advanced technology. As they strategized, the two teams worked late into the night. Emily felt energized by the collaboration. They planned joint exercises to practice their tactics and strengthen their forces. It was not just about Earth anymore, they were building a coalition against the Empire. Meanwhile, the Galactic Empire was preparing for their next move. Commander Zarek watched the news from his command ship, seething with anger. The humans had formed an alliance with the Zorathians. He knew he needed to strike hard and fast before their combined forces became too powerful. "Send scouts to monitor their movements," he ordered. "We must know their plans. We will not let these humans or their allies challenge the Empire." His eyes burned with determination. The Empire would not lose. Back on Earth, Emily and her team trained day and night, forging bonds with their new allies. They felt a sense of unity and purpose, knowing they were fighting for something bigger than themselves. Together they would face the coming storm. The countdown to the next conflict had begun, and humanity was ready to respond. As the days passed, tension in the galaxy grew. The Galactic Empire was preparing for a massive strike against Earth, and the alliance between humans and Zorathians was strengthening. Dr. Emily Carter felt the weight of the world on her shoulders. She knew they had to do something to prevent further bloodshed. But how could they convince the Empire to negotiate when it was so focused on domination? Emily gathered her team and their Zorathian allies in their main command center. The room was filled with screens displaying intelligence reports and battle strategies. Zorak, the leader of the Zorathians, stood beside her, looking equally concerned. "We must find a way to send a message to the Empire," he said. "Perhaps a call for peace?" Emily nodded, deep in thought. "We need to show them that we are not their enemies. We can offer to share our dark matter technology for peaceful purposes. This could be a way to build trust." The team discussed the idea further, brainstorming how to present the proposal. They knew that the Empire valued power above all else, so they needed to approach the situation carefully. "We should send a delegation to their command ship," Emily suggested. "A peaceful group that can present our case directly to Commander Zarek." Zorak agreed. "If we can reach out to Zarek's advisors, there may be those who want peace. We must find a way to appeal to their better nature." The team worked late into the night to prepare their message, crafting it to emphasize cooperation and mutual benefit. As dawn broke, Emily and Zorak led a small team toward the spaceport. They were set to board a shuttle that would take them to the Empire's command ship. The atmosphere was heavy with anticipation and anxiety. They all knew this was a risky mission, but they believed in the power of dialogue. When they arrived at the command ship, they were greeted by a squad of stern-looking guards. The group felt a wave of fear, but Zorak held his head high, displaying confidence. "We come in peace," he announced, stepping forward. "We wish to speak with Commander Zarek." After a tense wait, they were allowed inside. The command ship was dark and intimidating, filled with alien technology and the sounds of machinery. Zarek's chamber was even more imposing, with massive screens displaying images of battles and the Empire's ships. Zarek sat on a high throne, his piercing eyes fixed on the delegation as they entered. "What do you want?" he growled, his voice echoing through the chamber. "I have no time for your weak pleas." Emily took a deep breath, stepping forward to speak. "Commander Zarek, we are not here to plead. We offer a chance for peace. We want to share our technology for the betterment of both our worlds." Zarek raised an eyebrow, intrigued yet skeptical. Why should I trust you humans? Your kind has shown they can wield dark matter as a weapon. You have already attacked us, Zorak interjected, his voice steady. We want to use dark matter to explore, to create, and to protect. We know your empire has enemies. Together we could build a future that benefits us all. Imagine a galaxy where we work together instead of fighting. Zarek considered their words. And what guarantees do I have that you won't turn against us again? You have shown your capability for destruction. Emily felt a surge of determination. We know our technology can be used for war, but it can also create energy, help our planets thrive, and explore the stars. We believe in cooperation. Give us a chance to prove it. There was a long silence as Zarek pondered the proposal. He looked at the humans and Zorathians standing before him, a mix of defiance and curiosity in his eyes. You think I will simply accept your offer after the bloodshed? He asked. Emily replied, We believe there are those in your ranks who desire peace just as we do. Let us come together and end this conflict before it escalates further. We all want to protect our people. The tension in the room was palpable. Zarek's gaze shifted as he thought about the lives lost and the war looming on the horizon. You have courage, I will give you that, he finally said. But courage alone will not be enough. You must prove your sincerity. Then let us return to our worlds and prepare a joint demonstration, Zorak proposed. Let us show the galaxy that we can stand together, not just as allies, but as friends. Zarek considered their request. Finally, he nodded slowly. Very well, I will give you time. But if you betray me, I will not hesitate to strike back. Do not test my patience. With that, the meeting ended, and Emily and Zorak felt a mix of relief and hope. They had taken a step toward peace, but the journey was far from over. As they left the command ship, they looked at each other, knowing that they had opened a door to a future that could lead to collaboration instead of conflict. Back on Earth, the news of their meeting spread quickly. The world watched and waited, hoping for a peaceful resolution. Emily and Zorak returned to their people, determined to make their vision a reality. They had started a new chapter, one where humanity could thrive not just by its strength, but by its willingness to reach out and seek understanding. The battle for the galaxy was not over, but perhaps, just perhaps, there was a way to end it peacefully.